Welcome to Empyrion Galactic Survival Alpha 11, and here we are up on the bridge of my capital vessel overlooking the second moon of the Xenas system. It's a methane moon, and what I want to do in this video is go down and check the moon out, mainly because what I want to do is try out my new hover vehicle. And I know this moon isn't particularly that difficult, so what we should be able to do is get a feel for how the hover vehicle works before we get into any real trouble with very heavily defended POIs. Before that, what I want to do is talk about the Alpha 12 update that is rapidly approaching on us. Now, there's been a couple of dev diaries where they've talked about what's actually in the update. I'm not going to go through it in great detail. What I want to do is just go through the highlights that have grabbed my attention, just so that we can start to develop a feel of what's coming. Of course, the big new feature is galaxy maps, and there's quite a good picture of what the new galaxy map will look like. Hopefully they are going to improve the navigation of it a little bit better than what it currently is. And I must admit, I'm really looking forward to getting out and exploring a new galaxy, especially as they're saying that the galaxies are going to vary. Some are going to be empty, some are going to be wealthy, some are going to be hostile. So I think that will add a new dimension to the game. Moving on, and they're saying that they're going to reduce the CPU value of RCSs by 40%. I think that would be very useful for early stage hover vehicles, because I still feel that hover vehicles need RCSs to make them a bit more maneuverable. They're increasing the tier 4 CPU for hover vehicles as well. I think that would give more scope to build more kind of heavyweight hover tanks. Many POIs are going to be updated. It's quite interesting. They said that some of those were actually planned for Alpha 11, but they didn't get there, but they want to include them in Alpha 12. And probably the two biggest quality of life changes is going to be the ability to sort in your inventory. And more importantly, what they're going to do is increase the size of stacks, because you see here, I've still got a problem with storage, and we're nowhere near the 320,000 volume on this. And I think adding the ability to store up to 4,000, and I think the ability to be able to stack things up to 4,000 will be quite useful, although there is a caveat with that in the fact that it will be mass related. So there's a possibility you'll be able to store 4,000 optical fibers and computers, but you may not be able to store 4,000 ingots. I mean, only time will tell. And it could be the fact that it depends on the ingot type. And it may even reflect on storage of ores here. Because at the moment I'm storing the Sathium ores, because you can actually store more Sathium as ores rather than ingots. Because if I convert these to ingots, it actually doubles the count. Because if you remember, 5 ore turns into 10 ingots. So we're on a sheer stack count, it's although there's a weight issue, it's actually easier to store it as ore. Now moving on, then the next thing that attracted my attention was the fact that if you tack an orbital POI, it will be able to call in reinforcements. And looking at the picture in the notes, the ship looks like it's going to be no pushover. So it's maybe going to war or attack it. So maybe attacking a space-bound POI may not be that much fun if you haven't got a ship capable of defending itself. Another change is that the Talon are now getting a building called the Ziggurat. Now this is going to act the same way as the drone base does for a Xerax. If you destroy the Ziggurat, what that will mean is that there'll be no more Talon base attacks, which could be very useful if you want to go to war with Talon. Personally, I've never been to war with the Talon, so I'm not exactly too sure about how that mechanic will work in the long term. Maybe it's something worth exploring. And finally, they've confirmed that torque setting sliders will be available so that you'll be able to adjust the ship's maneuverability in flight mode. And I think that's going to be quite an interesting mechanic to explore. And I can imagine some of the bigger curators are going to have great fun playing with that. So I think that's enough about Alpha 12. Now, what I want to do is, before we can actually get our tank out and tested, I've got to make some changes to it. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of an update first with respect to what I've done. If I come in here and we just look at the ship here, go to CPU stats, what you'll see is, well, I'm now way above tier 4, and the reason for that is I've actually added a shield generator, and we've now got 55% efficiency level. Now I do need to get to tier 4, because what I want to do is add some more turrets to this before we go out and do any attacks. But the first thing I want to check out is something. If I come here, if we come to update, I've actually found the tier 3 extenders, and of course what they introduced, I can't remember which one of the minor updates that's been come out since 11.5 came out, the ability to upgrade the tier 3 to a tier 4. So you can see there we need 2 power cells and 1 small optic matrix. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. But we've got the matrices here, and I think it's power cores, isn't it? Okay, I think I've got too much in the way of fuel packs here. We just where's the ship stores? I mean, these power packs are meant for an emergency should I crash and burn and need to spawn a new ship. So I think they've just built up where I was running, and you can see I can now upgrade these. And what I'm interested to see is if there's any benefits for just doing these upgrades. I'm just going to upgrade this one and this one, and just going to have a quick look. No benefits. Oh well, never mind. I'm just going to come out again. So that means I've got to make another 2 tier 4 extenders, and I think we'll just do it this way. And so which means I've got to make 2 more of these. Now I've got the optronic bridges, because what I need is the optronic bridges to make the tier 3 extenders. You see here, each one of these needs a tier 3 extender, and it's like a chain of events going up. And I've got the 2 small optronics bridges. What I'm not too sure about is whether I can make the small optronic matrices. Yes, I can, because the restricting value at the moment is the gold. And well, I'm having problems with Estrum, Sarcosium and gold. And I'm hoping that when they go to Alpha 12, that they will make gold a bit more available on planets, because it's going to be a big limiting factor of actually doing these upgrades, because you can see they all need gold ingots. Anyway, I'm rambling on too much. So we can make the small optronics matrices. So what we should be able to do is go straight in and make 2 of these. I'm just going to kick those off. They're going to take a little while to make. So you can see our first thing we've got to do is make the tier 2, then the tier 3, and then make the tier 4. You see on the left hand side here, so I've actually made some extra weapons for the ship, and just going to, well, I can put that back into the there, and constructor out, and we'll just hook up. Whoops, what happened there? Oh, wrong one. So we're just going to go into here. See, I've also made some ammunition for the tank as well, which is mainly 50mm and some the 130mm HMSLs for the rocket launchers. Now, I've been looking at this of where to place it. When I did consider an artillery turret, but I don't actually have enough Sarcosium to make one. Plus, I'm a little bit worried about getting through this door. So I think what we're going to do is do that. Retrieve blocks, and I think I'm going to have to. Apologies to Jeff Randall for what I'm about to do, but I'm going to have to go. These are 3x3s, so I have to take out these. These are combat steel blocks, so I'll get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Because what I do want is to make sure the rocket launchers that I'm going to put here are retractable. Otherwise, I say my main concern is the door. I'm just going to get the retractable option. Was that the right way around? Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to see. No, that's the right way around, isn't it? Yep. So we're going to get these in here. The trouble is they're a little bit exposed on this front edge. So, well, I think what we'll do is we'll put the turrets in. Because what I want to do is put a couple of turrets on the side here, because these top-mounted turrets are great for attacking forward, but their weakness is the fact they can't elevate. So what I always like to have is a couple of side-mounted turrets like this. So if we get drones coming in high, these turrets can fire upwards. So these are our, you say, our anti-drone defenses, is probably the polite way of saying it. I think I would like to reinforce this area here. So let me just coming in. We've got some combat steel blocks, which I've taken off the ship. So, and I think what we're going to do is take that one out, take that one out, and maybe come forward a little bit further. And yeah, I probably didn't need to take that. Yeah, we'll take that one out, that one out, that one out, and that one out. And we'll just, I mean, it's going to break the aesthetic of the ship, but I think if we go put in some really solid combat blocks here, and then we'll just put in a couple like that. And of course, the golden rule when you fight with a tank is you always have the tank facing the opposition. If you're getting attacked from the side, or especially from the rear, you are doing something quite bad. I mean, I could put some along here, but I think that will work. And of course, it means that when I turn the turrets off, I'll be able to, these should retract. It should get me through that door. Okay, let's just turn that off. Hate to think what the stats on this is now. Zero efficiency. Well, we definitely need these two tier 4 extenders to get things going. Actually, let's put the ammunition in. What's it here? Cargo box. Ammo. Put this in here, and we'll just put the resources into. Where's it? SV building. That can all go into there, so it's nice and neat and tidy. And anything else I need to do with this? Oh yeah, one thing I do need to do is come to devices and rocket extend. Right, I want to add you to turrets. We're going to add you to the turrets group. We're going to put the minigun. Oops, no. Put the miniguns into the turrets group, and just want to check what the settings for this is. Minigun turret. Oh, I think I messed that up a bit. So we got that in there now. I'll just make sure this is set up. I don't want you attacking predators. Your job is NPC drones and players. Don't really want you attacking the base and small vessels. I'll change that. I also want you attacking turrets, mounted weapons, and NPC drones and players. I'm not worried about predators and aliens just at the moment. So that should work. And what I want to do is create a new group and call you rockets. And then what we're going to do is add these to the rockets group. I've got no idea if this is going to work, but it's an idea I've been thinking about for a little while, and I just want to try it out. Because I think one gripe I think we all have is that the turrets on hover vehicles tend to have a little bit of a mind of their own when it comes to certain things. And what we're going to do is put you into that group as well, add that to that group. And what I'm hoping is that if I can find the rockets group here, we're going to get you, take you off here. Don't want you attacking drones, don't want you attacking bases. Your sole function is going to be to take out mounted weapons. And I think that's all we can do at the moment, because I'm pretty sure those, let's just have a quick check. Yeah, you're still creating those, so I think what we can do while that's going on is go and get a capital vessel down on the planet so that we can find something to attack. I'm just going to jump in here, get the shields back on. third person. And just going to head for the moon. Now this is going to be the last moon that we're going to investigate in this system, because what I'm thinking about going forward is that Scaffon posted a comment about trading stations and getting more optronics bridges, and I'm inclined at the moment to come out to these asteroid fields to see if there's any trading stations in this area, and more importantly to see if there's any other links, because the only other option would be to follow these paths back to where I've been before. Right, so we're just coming up on the planet now, and I am going to land with the capital vessel, because with the whole idea of this is going to be trying out the hover tank. And this is where we come down right on top of the drone base. Okay. Oh well, we've got a Prometheum silo. Now I don't want to engage with the capital vessel, so we're going to have to try and find somewhere where we can put down. Let's have a look. It's a bit difficult to tell where the edge of Xerax territory is. But then I think we could probably put down in Xerax territory. This ship can defend itself against drones as long as we're out of range of a base. There's a base there. Maybe if we just put down on the island here, and what I can do is fly a reconnaissance with the Merc or the Arctic Cat again. Actually no, I don't want to land on an island because I think we'll just move forward, because we're going to need to be able to unload the hover tank as well, aren't we? Yeah, looks like this is relatively flat, so just going to land here and turn the thrusters off. Just going to back into first person. Okay for food at the moment. If you watched the last part, I actually went out and did some reconnaissance with the Arctic Cat, and well, what can I say? I made a bit of a mistake. I got pretty badly shot in the rear here, and it took a lot of damage. And probably one of the key lessons or reminders I got is that you need to save the template in order to do repairs. So what I ended up doing is effectively was scrapping the old Arctic Cat. So this is a new one that I brought down from the workshop again. It was just easier than trying to repair it. I don't want to really fly into anything and get too complicated with it. So we're just gonna... We don't need any extra supplies because this is just a reconnaissance in force. So that's probably the going to be our first target for the other vehicle. So there's another one in here. There's a Prometheum silo there, and a Sathium silo there. That's good. There's a lot of stuff to the south of us, so we're just going to have a bit of a fly around just to see what's here. East or west? I think we'll go east and see what's in this direction. Looks like we got a whole crop of... We've got defences. Got a missile site all the way. Oh, wow. This might be a little bit of a hot spot. Yeah, we're taking a little bit of fire, but it's not. So, wow. Now that could be fun. That could be the ultimate test of the hover tank, but that might be a bit too much for the first time out. I think we'll just keep skiding northeast for a little while. There's a neodymium silo here. Lots of good resources on here, neodymium. I mean, hopefully we'll be able to find some drones as well, just to give them a little bit of a test run. Just going to fly north. Yeah, we've kind of scooted round, so let me just mark the ship, and I think we'll return to the ship. So we're just going to dock in here, and Thrusters off. Used quite a lot of fuel on that. Oh great, we got radiated fog. Always wanted radiated fog. Let's just get inside. And a quick look at the output. Got one, so they're still making another one. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait until those have been constructed, and then I'll be right back. Welcome back. It's taken a little while to manufacture these things, so these are not an instant process. I'll just put them on here just to, so that we can get things done. Now the next problem is, where am I going to put them? Got a feeling I can put, just retrieve these blocks here. So I'm going to salvage these because they carbon compensate, and I do need that for the moment. So I'm just going to take these out here, and then hopefully these are going to fit in here. So put them at the back in there, get them on each side. So just leave that in for the moment, don't really need it. And of course, hopefully now, CPU stats. Yes, we're 100%. We're now fully protected. Now the next bit is going to be the fun bit, and that is getting out of this hangar. So just get rid of that. Into here, and I just want a quick check. Ammo. We've got ammo. We got, yeah, we're fully loaded with fuel. So, and pentaxid. Yes, we got pentaxid, and we got. I put some cores in here. What I might do is just drop some extra power in, just in case I need it. And time to fire this thing up and see how it goes. I mean, I've got oxygen, so we must have used the oxygen as well. And we got the turrets and the thrusters on. Now comes the fun bit. Can we get out of here? Yes, it's actually come out really well. It's flying good. I'm not... just maybe get in a little bit closer and then get a bit of height so we can actually see in front. Maybe a smidge more. I mean, I'm not planning on using the Gatling guns, but I suppose we can reload those. Just in case we need them. And where are we going? I think we'll go for the Promethean silo. We might as well get something out of it. I don't think I need any more safe than one near Division. Promethean is always welcome. And there's always the temptation of coming down here. But that might be a little bit too much to take on. But first thing we're going to see is how this configuration with the rockets in a separate group to the minigun turrets, see if how that works. Apologies for the yucky yellow, but this is about the best I can do. Actually, just pull back a bit. Just want to check something. I think we can. So it gives me the range. Current range 195 meters. Wow. And current range 176. The range isn't that good, so we're going to have to get in pretty close. Come on, wake up. Why aren't you firing? Okay. not actually firing on the turrets. So let's have a quick look at what the setup. Let's get back into here. Why are my rocket turrets not firing? Mounted weapons. NPC factions, maybe I've found the difference. Let's just check. Right, we'll turn off the warp drive, thrusters, capital vessels, home, NPC players. Right, we'll get that there. One required. Okay, well, maybe I've got that switched on. Okay, let's just go in again. That's better. Yep. Yeah. I'm a bit happy with that. Well, that went pretty well. And seeing we're here, just line up the turret, the ship here, and we'll just use the turrets for fire suppression should we need them. Because of course we're going to go in and we might as well loot this while we're at it. So I think I'll just leave the power on for the moment. Anything I hate about internal cockpits is that, of course, we've got a med station in here as well, which is pretty good. Reload. I mean, I've got the routine for taking these down pretty well, actually. This is... Hey. Reload. And there's another one over there. And there's one up there. Reload. Now I don't have any med kits with me, so we have to be a little bit careful, or they could end up dying. And of course, what I can do is go back and heal. We'll just use the ship. Oops. Just get in here. Look at that. Reload. You're gone. I think that is about it. Should have control of the base now. Famous last words. Let's just do some a little bit of top level looting. And get you. Okay. Oh, you were hiding from me, were you? It didn't do you any good. I think the body's in the way. There, you're gone. Question is, can we set up a wireless connection? Yes. Well, shove this all in the fridge. So I know where it is. Let's set that up. And we might as well get the Prometheum while we're here. Okay, let's do it this way. You insist, game? I'll take it that way. I mean, we could go this way, just to make it complicated. Maybe that is the easier option. So that gives us another 1,000 Prometheum. And we'll just better go back and get healed up. A little bit, actually, just sudden thought, I'm not sure what the state of my armor is at the moment. So we'll just go back and healed up before we go and take out the top level. Got some medium Prometheum over there we can pick up as well. We've got oxygen on this side, haven't we? Actually, we've got an armor locker here, so it might pay to put some spare armor in this ship as well. So that's something to worth considering. Right, let's just get back to here. And up we go. It's always got to be the laser guy that I don't get. And get rid of you. Let's just. Aha. Oops, out of ammunition. I don't remember bringing any explosives with me. This could be a little bit annoying. Nah, I must have some explosives. Yes, I have. Great. Just gonna. While that's going, oops. And we'll certainly take a health kit. And just gonna salvage that. Come up in here, and there always seems to be a nice lot of oxygen in there. Well, not so much that time. No. Not that I need oxygen, but never mind. But we will take the fuel, 791. Another 26 of those. Take the fuel tanks. Generators. More fuel tanks. Generators. Lights. Sensors. I think that's about all that's really of any value in here. When I could take the shutters. Oops, gone down too far. I mean, the shutters are good for resources. As far as I know, there's nothing else hidden in here. We'll just take these as well. Combat steel block. I mean, if I really wanted the Sapien or hardened steel blocks, I could take some of those. And I think there's an antenna on the roof, so we'll just go and pick the antenna. And let's go and jump back into the ship. I will go out and mine the Prometheum because I want to use it to test something. So what we're going to do is just get back into the ship. Jump there. External view. Better turn the... Oh, left thrusters on, did I? Okay. And we're just going to go over and get really close to this Prometheum. It's about close enough. Drop down. Now this is where it could get a little bit messy. What I would like to do is... No, it won't let me spawn, so what we have to do is just get here, spawn, and then I'm just going to push myself into here again. And we've got a roof type box. Now I know this is not necessary for this moon, but I'm just practicing should we get on a really hostile moon and need to be able to work from inside the ship, because when you get into some really volcanic or highly radioactive planets, especially in Project Eden, being able to work from inside the ship is a really big benefit. And I don't have the drill, so let's grab that and just make sure we've got the... Put that link on. Put this in here as well. Got that all set up. That can go back into there for the moment. I'm just gonna... Oops, come on game. And we're just gonna go down and grab this Prometheum, and I'll be right back once I've picked it all up. Right, last couple of pieces. And I think that should be it. Of course, I can't see from inside the ship. Yep. We've got all that deposits. And just to show you, we've got nearly 2 full stacks, which is pretty good. Just put this in the fridge for the moment. It can go in there on the ammo, and then the rest can go in the main controller. And I think just to wind this video up, what we're going to do is have a go at another one, just to see how well this works. Ship's a little bit overloaded. I think the neodymium would be more useful than the saphium. I've got piles of saphium at the moment anyway. We're just going to go this way. Where is it? I mean, the fuel consumption is pretty good, 171 minutes. I've got a feeling it could probably do another generator actually. 40% isn't brilliant. We come in on an angle like that. Okay, go on. Oh, wake up, wake up. What are you firing at? Hey. I think what happened there is I got close to the core. No, they're gone. Yeah, I'm very happy with that setup actually. I think it worked. I mean, it's not going to have a lot of knockdown power if I get into an area down here. So what we would have to do is kind of come in from the edges, take out the defenses, and then work our way inwards. I mean, there's a lot of resources here, but I don't really want to get too tied down with that. But I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. What I will do is go in and take out this neodymium silo off camera. I think we all know the routine now. In the next part, what we're going to be doing is coming out to these asteroid belts up here because well, one, I would like to find a trading station. Big wishes. Trading stations at the moment have been very thin on the ground. But more importantly, I'm looking for a possible route out this way to another planet, because the only other option is to go back to systems we've already visited. I mean, we could go back to the Bartuk Sigma station, because I know there's actually a trading station there, so we could come back that way and then come through here and go out that way. But we'll just see how that works out. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.